You have had years of work experience. You have worked hard. You have shown up day after day in your career, even when that job stopped being fulfilling years ago. And now you're ready for a change. You finally want a higher paying role that actually feels aligned with who you are, one that lets you use your strengths and move from just surviving to thriving. A career where you wake up and don't immediately dread logging into your inbox. But there's one major problem. You have been applying to job after job after job, and it's nothing. Crickets. No interviews, no callbacks, just silence. And it's making you wonder or think, am I the problem here? Am I as qualified as I think I am? Here's the thing. You might be making a simple but powerful mistake in your job search. And that mistake is that you are just listing what you did in the past in your career without showing the impact. And it is stopping hiring managers from seeing the value that you bring to the table. So in today's video, we are going to talk about why that approach isn't working, and more importantly, what you should do instead so that you can actually finally start landing interviews for jobs that you actually want. Hi, if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Dr. 𝙁𝙤𝙔𝙪𝙧. I'm a career coach, and I help professional women, especially women of faith, leave miserable jobs where they feel underpaid, undervalued, and unfulfilled, and land higher paying jobs that they love. Because let's be real, you can't have life satisfaction without career satisfaction. All right, now let's talk about this job search mistake because it is so much more common than you might think or know. So when most people start job searching, they often focus on the obvious things: updating their resume, polishing their LinkedIn profile, and maybe writing a cover letter. But here's where it usually goes wrong. When you look at all those documents, they just list what they've done, their responsibilities, their tasks, the things their job required them to do. They're essentially copying and pasting their job descriptions into the resume. They might tweak a verb here and there, format it nicely, and then you start applying to dozens, maybe even hundreds of jobs, but still nothing. You don't get any responses. You don't get interviews. You either just get rejected or silence. Does that sound familiar? If it does, here's why this approach is keeping you stuck in your job search. When your marketing materials, your resume, your cover letter, your LinkedIn profile, when they just list your duties, hiring managers don't see you. They see a role, a task list, a history of responsibilities, not a story of your impact. And that's a major problem, especially if you're trying to pivot into a whole new role or industry. Because if you're not clearly showing how your past experience transfers to the new job, you are making the hiring manager do all the mental work, and they won't. They just won't. Now, let me break it down for you in a couple of ways. First, you're applying to tons of jobs and hearing nothing back. And it's usually not because you're not qualified. It's because your materials aren't making it clear why you are qualified. You're not connecting the dots for them. They're not telling the story of your value. And especially in a pivot, that is everything. Another thing to think about is that you're spending hours tweaking your resume without any real strategy. So it feels like you're working hard, but there's no traction, and you're feeling exhausted, and you're feeling demoralized when all that effort leads to nothing. And the final thing about this mistake is that your confidence starts taking a hit. When you are applying and not hearing anything back, you start saying, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this dream job thing isn't realistic. And that starts to break your heart. You lose hope because, first of all, it's not true. You can actually be in a job you love. You're capable, you are skilled, and you know it. You just haven't been taught how to market yourself effectively. Specifically, how to market yourself effectively in a job search. And trust me, I'm not saying this because I've helped tons of clients through it, but because I have lived it myself. So back in 2013, when I was doing my first, what I call big girl job search, I sent out over 50 applications and got just one callback. One. And I always say that was all God, because that callback that I got, the only offer I got, happened to be in Colorado, where my then boyfriend, now husband, lived. So somebody praise the Lord. But that job search was absolutely terrible because I was just listing my duties, mass applying, and I heard nothing back. And then I changed my strategy. The next time I went on another legit job search, I applied to just 10 jobs with a resume that focused on accomplishments and transferable skills. And I got 6 interviews out of 10. Now I help my clients make the exact same shift, and it works every time. So let's talk about what to do instead of just listing your responsibilities to help you land more interviews for that higher paying job that you love. So let's actually start with your resume. When you think about your resume, you need to shift from just listing your duties and work tasks to sharing the results and accomplishments that you have achieved in your career. In my program, Find a Fulfilling Career, I teach a framework called the Skill Tool Outcome Framework for writing resume bullet points. Now, the way it works is you're thinking about the skill. So what did you actually do? This is for every bullet point. The tool, what system, method, or process did you use to do it? And the outcome, what happened because of your work? And why does it matter to the organization? That's the so what question. So instead of just saying something like managed a team on your bullet point, you would write led a team of 10 using agile methods to increase project efficiency by 20%. That is a clear, specific bullet that shows impact. And then we layer on what I call the so what test, meaning every bullet point should answer, why did this outcome matter? Did it save money? Did it increase client satisfaction? Did it reduce mistakes or errors? Did it accelerate growth for the organization? When you ask so what about your bullet point, you go from just listing accomplishments to actually showing the real tangible value that you're bringing to the organization. So if we break down that sample bullet point, led a team of 10 using agile methods to increase project efficiency by 20%, the skill there is leadership. The tool is agile methods, and the outcome is increasing project efficiency by 20%. That outcome also answers so what, because it tells us why the leadership and agile methods mattered. Inside Find Your Fulfilling Career, we use the target resume system to make this process super easy so that you're not writing your resume from scratch every time. You actually have a simple and repeatable system that works. Next, let's talk about your cover letter. And yes, you do in fact still need to write a cover letter for jobs. And cover letters are such powerful storytelling tools that you should want to write cover letters. I actually once had a client tell me that she didn't apply to any job that required a cover letter just because she didn't want to write the cover letter. And I was like, girl, say what now? Absolutely not. Because best believe we changed her approach and got her writing converting cover letters that landed her a job with a 5-figure salary increase. The thing about a cover letter is this is your chance to connect the dots directly. This is your chance to actually paint a picture and write a narrative about why you are right and perfect for the role. Now, hear me when I say this. Your cover letter is not just a summary of your resume, okay? It is a narrative. Especially if you're changing careers, this is where you actually explain, here's what I've done, here's the value I bring, and here's exactly how what I've done in my career will help me solve your company's problem. Inside FYFC, I teach the ATM formula to write cover letters that get noticed. So even when it says optional, we are still writing powerful cover letters. The A stands for attract the reader, so attract with a strong hook from the beginning. T is to tell your career story by highlighting your transferable skills. And M is make the invitation, close by telling them what you want next, which is an interview. And you don't need to be fancy or overly formal. You just need to make it clear why and how you can do the job that you're applying for. Now, by the way, if you're finding this video helpful so far, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below so YouTube knows that this video is helpful and shares it with more people. Thank you. Now let's move on to your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is not just an online resume. It is actually a search engine. Recruiters are on LinkedIn looking for candidates based on keywords that they are searching for. And if your profile isn't telling a compelling story, or if it just reads like a job description, you're essentially invisible. And the easiest way to highlight results and your fit for a role on your LinkedIn profile is in your headline. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, your headline is that little sentence that shows up right under your name on your LinkedIn profile. When you create a LinkedIn profile, it usually just defaults to your job title and your current company, but scratch that. That's not what we want to do. Your headline is where you can quickly show your relevant accomplishment that is relative to the job that you want to land. So a simple formula that you can use to write your headline is the role, area of expertise, and a value or achievement. So instead of saying experienced marketing specialist or the generic title that the company that LinkedIn puts there for you, you might say something like marketing strategist, nonprofit campaigns, raised 500K through donor engagement. That tells me exactly what you do and why you're valuable. In my program, FYFC, we actually then update your about section and your job history using the magnetic LinkedIn profile framework. And one of my clients did this, and a former coworker saw her updated profile and they reached out with a job opportunity that she never would have found on her own. She applied using our resume and cover letter templates in the program, and she landed the job with a 20K salary increase, which moved her to finally hit 6 figures and left a job that had been draining her for years. Now, I know that you might be listening to me and you might be thinking, but I haven't done anything impressive, right? Like you're hearing me talk about sharing your results, talking about your impact and your accomplishment. And you might think, oh, my work isn't quantifiable. I've actually had clients say that to me before. I don't have a big impact that I can share on my resume or cover letter or LinkedIn profile. Let me stop you right there. You do not have to have launched $1 million project to be impressive. Have you helped your team run smoother? Have you solved a customer issue in your current job or a past job? Have you improved a process? Trained someone new? Those things all matter. The problem isn't your experience. It's that you haven't been taught how to talk about your experience in a way that hiring managers understand and value. And that is exactly what we fix inside my coaching program, Find Your Fulfilling Career. So here's the big takeaway that I want you to get from this video. If you are just listing what your old job required on your resume, your cover letter, and your LinkedIn profile, you're missing the chance to show what you can do. And that might be part of why you have been getting ghosted in your job search. But when you actually start telling a story of impact, everything changes because now your resume will stand out. Your LinkedIn is magnetizing jobs towards you. Your cover letter actually converts and connects. And you now start getting interviews for roles that you're genuinely excited about. You're not wondering if you're qualified. You're not questioning your worth or your value. You are just getting real traction and real confidence in your job search. So if you're tired of applying and not hearing anything back, then I want to invite you to check out and register for my free on-demand training called Leave Your Miserable Job. Inside that training, I walk you through how to stop just blending in your job search and start showing your value so you can finally land a job that pays you well and makes you excited to go to work again. You can go to leaveyourmiserablejob.com or you can click that link in the description below to sign up and start watching the training today. It is completely free and it's going to change how you approach your job search. Now, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below so that you never miss a video from me. And then this one gets shared with more people. Share the love. And once you do, don't click away. Don't leave this video. I see you. Watch the next video that is popping up on the screen right here so that I can continue sharing strategies that are helping you thrive in your career.